Hey guys, how's it going? This is Deadly. Welcome back to the Nomadic Challenge, the leveling series where I self-craft all of my equipment or purchase it from vendors. Today we are going to be hitting level 45, starting things off in Western Plaguelands. I do want to kind of address some of the comments that I've been getting on my stream and my YouTube video. A lot of people have been wondering, are you going to be continuing this leveling series? And yes, I'm definitely going to be continuing it. I took a bit of a month hiatus from the Nomadic Challenge because there's been other games like Squad and obviously DayZ that have been a huge focus on my live stream and has been sucking up a lot of my time. So we're going to be starting the questing off in Hearthglen, which is one of the last questing hubs that you will get in the Western Plaguelands. It is where all the Crusaders went after Northrend, after killing the Lich King, spoiler alert, and your job is to deal with the local gnoll infestation. That is the core of the quest chains inside of Hearthglen. You have to clear out the gnolls, you have to figure out what's controlling them and what's organizing them, because obviously something is commanding them enough to take out the crusade. And remember, these are the guys that killed the Lich King, so there has to be something powerful going on. And you figure out that there is a necromancer that is being controlled by someone inside of Hearthglen, someone that is trusted, and it's your job to kind of go true detective and figure out what's going on. Also, we are still mining iron ore. Obviously in this series, you have to collect as many supplies as possible and turn that into gear. And what I found is you do that in increments. You go in spurts. So, at level 30, you create a lot of iron gear, and then at level 45 to level 50, you create a lot of mithril and true silver and thorium and a whole lot of other stuff. So it's kind of progressive. Whenever you're going to be questing, you do get a lot of really good rewards. Whereas whenever you're questing all the time without using those rewards, turning them in for gold, you do have to take a few hours out of your time to get the minerals that you need and then also convert them into gear. And right now I'm currently using a full set of green iron, which is something that I've been working on ever since Booty Bay. So the green iron set, it looks really good, but I don't know if anybody noticed, my belt is actually the same belt from level 13. So there are a few pieces of gear that you can't really acquire unless you buy schematics and blacksmithing plans. And you can do that. I have bought a few blacksmithing plans in the Nomadic Challenge. It's completely cool. You can do whatever you want. I was going to limit in the rule set if I was going to be using the auction house for anything. I don't use it for gear. I only buy it for materials like leather or plans. So, plans are always fun because if you buy a plan, you're typically going to be getting a blue item out of it, and you still have to acquire a lot of items to build that piece of gear. So after Hearthglen, I moved back to Anderhall to finish this quest line, the battle for Anderhall. And the Scourge has been defeated, and now you have to deal with the Forsaken. And on the Alliance side, this is pretty bad because you learn that Sylvanas is here and she has her Valkyrie. And if you played on the Forsaken side in Silverpine Forest, you learn that the Valkyrie are able to resurrect the dead and create the Forsaken army, because Forsaken can't procreate. So whenever these guys show up, shit really hits the fan for the Alliance, and you have to take a little militia of farmers to go fight Forsaken farmers that have been resurrected. So it seems like a lot of military has been exhausted, and it's just like farmer versus farmer. You get to control these guys just like you would a hunter pet. So if you're used to that, you don't have to do anything, really. You don't have to control these guys at all. You do have the option to, in a way, but just go around spanking all these Valkyrie. And you also have to go and kill Ardeen, or Aradine, which is the elite. But again, it's an elite, but it really isn't. Just go up there, smack her in the face a couple times with your abilities, and you'll get a cool blue item. Unfortunately, you can't use it. You can't use blues right now, okay? You have to craft it. So I'm looking at which ones will sell for the most. The good thing about this series is for all you gold mongers out there is you will make a lot of money, because every single time you get something from quest rewards, you can sell it. And if you do choose an enchanting perk, I don't know really why you would, but if you do use enchanting, maybe you want to enchant white items to get stats. It would be kind of cool if somebody did something pretty unique. If you are doing something with the Nomadic Challenge, I would love to hear in the comment section below, how is it going? What kind of professions are you using? You don't necessarily have to use the armor building professions. You can do jewel crafting, you can make rings, You can do enchanting, like I just mentioned. Just let me know how it's going for you, and I'm curious to hear what kind of class combination and profession combinations that you guys are using. So lastly, in the Western Plaguelands, we are wrapping things up at the Mender's Steed, just kind of doing some final turn-ins from quests that I've completed from last episode. Nothing too major, and then we are going to be moving into Eastern Plaguelands. Now, you notice something, the Eastern Plaguelands are completely corrupted still, because there is still a presence of the Scourge, or the remnants of the Scourge, that are still being cleaned up inside the Eastern Plaguelands. And you'll see this as you continue to move through the zone, that they have the Crusader towers that are actually mending the land. At every single tower, there's like green grass and it's starting to spread out. It would be cool down the road in maybe one of the next expansions for World of Warcraft that we see a few zone updates, because the game hasn't really changed since Cataclysm. Unfortunately for me, well, actually, I'm going to rephrase that. Fortunately for me, I'm still getting iron ore, and although I don't really need that much of it anymore, it is giving me 260 experience per node, which is massive. And I'm going to get to that later on in the video whenever we switch to Mithril, and you'll just see it's going to be another talking point when it comes to experience and gaining, when it comes to professions. Professions are great for experience. Again, I'm an old school player, so I used to be one of those guys that said, okay, professions is a waste of time. But clearly, with all this iron ore around, 260 experience per, keep in mind that for simple turn-ins, you're getting 440 experience. For a completed quest, you're getting maybe 1,000, 2,000 experience. So mining nodes, very viable. We're also going to be doing something that kind of reminds me of like the Yellow Brick Road, where you have to go around and find different paladins and get them to go on this convoy or this caravan and go from tower to tower doing different quests and building up your ensemble of people. I actually don't know the exact term for it, so do correct me in the comment section below. It's been a while since I've done these quests, but basically you can go to this caravan and you can get different zone buffs, like increased damage, increased gold find, increased experience, different stat buffs from this caravan, and the more people that you acquire, the more buffs are available to you. So you're going to be doing the initial part of this zone is actually getting your little group together and finding all the paladins, and that's what I'm doing here. I need to get Banshee Bells to create a cure, or actually I'm getting Banshee Bells for this dwarf so you can present them to Fiona as kind of like a gift, I guess, because this dude is madly in love with this chick. But anyways, once you complete the first initial quest at Fiona, you'll get on the caravan and then go to Crown Guard Tower, which is going to be the first questing hub. The great thing about Eastern Plaguelands is the questing hubs are very straightforward. You just start the single quest and it will take you through the entire zone all the way to Light's Hope. And even from Light's Hope, you can go right to Badlands, which is pretty awesome. You save a lot of time. You used to have to go, if you remember back before Cataclysm, you have to walk from point A to point B if you don't have the flight path, which was, in my opinion, was kind of cool because it got you out there in different situations and it put you in zones that were way above your level. And I still remember going through like the Arathi Highlands when I was like level 20 trying to make it to Hillsbrad Foothills and just getting stomped by like level 40 Horde and Alliance, depending on what side I was playing. Good times. I do miss those memories now that everything is kind of straightforward. But the game is kind of where it is, especially if you pre-order Draenor. For the most part, you get a free level 90, so a lot of people don't even get to see this content anymore. So we hit level 42, which means we do have a brand new ability. Seal of Righteousness fills you with holy light, causing melee attacks to deal 12% holy damage to all targets within 8 yards. This is amazing. This goes very well with Hammer of Righteousness, which does 42% physical damage, causing a wave of light that hits all other targets within 8 yards. So if you're ever going to be doing AoE, gathering up a lot of mobs together, even as Ret, it's possible. You don't need to be Prot. If you're doing Nomadic Challenge, it can be a little bit difficult, but Seal of Righteousness is for your AoE damage. So if you're ever going to be kind of gathering up mobs Hobbs style and killing them and wiping them down, very effective if you have a very strong gear set like BOAs. Seal of Righteousness is going to be the thing that you're going to want to use. The next big quest line in Eastern Plaguelands is Darrowshire. And this quest will get you to start collecting artifacts. I'm not going to show the artifacts collection here. It's pretty straightforward. and then you got to go to Darrowshire and reenact the battle between the Scarlet Crusade and the Darrowshire guys. Well, obviously they are all undead right now. And you also have to go around collecting like different doll parts and a lot of weird stuff. But at the end of the day, you do get this cool epic battle that actually lasts, anywhere between, 3 to 5 minutes. You just kill everything, just follow the instructions. And once you're completed, you get a lot of experience, and you also get a cool blue item from the little girl who is behind this broken down house whenever you complete the quest. Don't forget to loot the chest that is behind this house. You can't miss it. You'll get a cool item. We just hit 43, and we're going to be continuing to move on throughout the zone, going on the caravan again. You do get to pick up another person, a blacksmith who wants to go to Light's Hope Chapel. It is kind of funny though, like they kind of like stop and rest quite frequently. It only takes a few minutes to get from point A to point B. But if you're ever on top of one of these towers, you can also pick up a parachute, which is pretty convenient. But if you're a paladin, you really don't need one. A lot of people have also been asking me to show more mining and blacksmithing. And I would love to do that. It's just very redundant and boring. But what I can do for you guys is include 2 links to 2 websites that I've been following around, especially for resource gathering, just to kind of, if I need to take some time out and gather more materials, which I have had to do a few times, I refer to these sites. Very good guides. And if you do want to go 1 to 700 crafting whenever you're leveling, then those are the 2 resources that I would recommend. And I'm going to be linking the mining guide and the blacksmithing guide. And also you can use the website for pretty much any profession out there. It works very well. After you've completed Darrowshire and moved on, now you have to disguise yourself and infiltrate the Scourge and try to put an end to their plague wells. The plague wells are what cause all of the land to kind of turn to shit and infects everything. So you gotta kill a bunch of fish, you gotta gather a bunch of puffers, a bunch of other stuff, I don't know, a weird quest. You turn that in and you gotta build a disguise for yourself and go back and you get a variety of different options of how you're supposed to destroy this plague well. It's a pretty interesting concept. Again, we're at the point of leveling where it is actually kind of impossible for me to show every single step. I do have some broadcasts on my Twitch channel. If you do want to go check them out, I will link it. Just go to twitch.tv/DeadlySlob. And if you go to my recent broadcasts or highlights, I do have some levels that are recorded and saved there. So if you do want to watch just live gameplay of this happening, it's there for you. Anyway, we're moving on. Now it's Light's Hope Chapel, which is going to be my final destination in Eastern Plaguelands because I'm just moving through these quests. You first have to prove yourself and go do the trial, which is kind of impressing this ghost, Lord Raymond. And once you do the trial of the crypt, you're going to be put on a couple other quests to go out there and kill a bunch of worms, and eventually move your way over to work for the Brotherhood of Light. That looks very similar to the Scarlet Crusade. I'm not too sure what the lore is there. Again, for all you lore nerds out there, I would love to know a little bit more about what's going on with the Brotherhood of Light and the Scarlet Crusade. Because obviously, the Scarlet Crusade, they're fighting the Scourge, and so is the Alliance and the Horde, but they're an enemy, so I don't know if it's like their practices are just so evil that it kind of makes them just as bad as the Scourge. But anyways, you go to Tyre's Hand. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, these quests, incredibly easy and just so fast. You can just knock these out, no problem. It's essentially just all kill quests. And you just go to each different building. There's a quest hub out there and you just knock it out of the park. You just basically just go in there, completely massacre every single building, turn in the quests, and you move on to the final citadel. And the final citadel, you work your way inside and you have to kill the leader of this camp. Not that hard, very basic. You do have to do a few collection quests here, but for the most part, you can knock this entire place out in probably like 5-10 minutes or less, and you can get almost a full level of experience or more if you're using BOAs. You gotta kill a bunch of Scarlet Crusade. At level 44, we get a brand new ability, the Heart of the Crusade. This is a passive ability. It used to be an aura, but not anymore. It increases your mounted speed by 20%. It doesn't stack with other movement speed increasing effects, but at level 40, you can get the option to purchase your epic mount. And if you are doing the Nomadic challenge, that should be extremely easy. And if you are questing, you should get enough gold to buy your epic mount in Cataclysm. This is technically the Cataclysm zones. They do yield enough gold. Blizzard has made it so you should be able to purchase every single riding skill up until epic and beyond. But that's not too hard, and we can get that into that down the road. I've also going to be doing some blacksmithing, making some golden scale bracers. It's funny, golden scale bracers that have no gold. Just using steel. To make steel, you got to get coal. You can purchase coal from a blacksmith supplies, use it with iron, and you make steel. And I'm going to be making a bunch of those bracers. I just sell them to vendors. Doesn't seem to be a huge green market for lower levels, so just save yourself some time or send them to a buddy who's like leveling up enchanting to quickly do. However, if you guys notice, we took the rocket to Badlands, so we are officially done of Western and Eastern Plaguelands, and we are now moving into the Badlands in Searing Gorge combo and Blackrock Mountain. These three zones are very connected in their storylines and very easy, and they're full of mithril. So we are finally done of iron ore. It has been so damn long. It has been all the way back to Dustwood. I've been collecting iron ore, and it's just a nice change of pace. But like I mentioned earlier in this video, if you notice something, I'm only getting 90 experience per mithril ore node. What the hell, Blizzard? What's going on there? I was getting 260 for the iron ore, and now the mithril is only giving me 96. That doesn't make much sense. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's so abundant. I'm not too sure, but that was a little bit of a downer. I was like, what the hell? This is a brand new node. I was so excited to get something different. But in the Badlands, you just go to the first questing hub, and it's kind of rinse and repeat. In this zone, you have to fight against the Black Dragonflight, who are just kind of taking over. The Black Dragonflight, that's Deathwing. So you're going to be learning a little bit more about Deathwing in this zone, and Searing Gorge and Blackrock Mountain. And those are going to be your main antagonists. And you're also going to be kind of infiltrating their ranks and causing some damage. But we're going to wait till the next video. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for being incredibly patient for me. We just hit level 45. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And I do daily broadcasts on Twitch starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. I will be returning August 4th, 2015. And I will see you guys in the next Nomadic video. I promise, coming very, very soon.